Hello, my name is Jan Edox from the watch brand DOXA. We are welcoming the audience of our esteemed friend of the brand in Geneva Watch Days. And it's an honor for me to present you shortly our collection and in regard a shortcut of the history of DOXA. DOXA in the years of the 60s started to discover the ocean with the result that 1967 DOXA came on the market with the first diver's watch in the famous orange color. So if we go about through the products, first of all, before we go to details, you see DOXA is an iconic watch brand and has a very typical DNA factor with the cushion-shaped case. And since the beginning, DOXA runs on one rule, which means functionality first. And if I may start, the first watch in 1967, of course this is a reinterpretation, but pretty much still the same. It's a sub 300. And this came out in orange at the time where the market was much more conservative. The dials were dark blue and black, but DOXA made the research because technically orange with all the color shapes was the best color at the time to read time in the first 30 meters when you dive. So this is sub 300T with a cask movement and a sapphire glass box. And the 42 in millimeter.
And can you say a little bit what happened there in this 1967? Did it get like a big impression in the market?
No, so in the 60s, when you go back and you ask history people, of course the 60s remained memorable with 69, the landing on the moon. But in the 60s, the ocean was such as a discovery. And at the time, the divers, they really depended on life. Their life depended on a diving watch. There was no dive computers such as kind of technical helpful material as today. And still today, the divers, they still take a diver's watch as a second tool in case the dive computer is not working. So then the technicians of DOXA, and also with a famous, very famous celebrity in the discovery of the ocean was Jacques Cousteau. Yeah. And in 1968, I don't know if I have the orange one. Then DOXA developed the helium valve. And when you have a helium valve, people do not know exactly what it is. When we smell in the air, we have over 80% nitrogen in the air. But when you go dive, for example, Jacques Cousteau, in the capsules you go down, then you will get dizzy. So, and the helium compensates.
It's not this one, is it?
No, this one is a T.Graph. Yeah. There's a 200 T.Graph. There was a limited edition. And then here now, when we go to this, the 300T, I can show you also the helium valve. I'm just looking. The 300.
It's just one selection here?
Yes, this is a wide. So all the watches, this is a 200T. Wait.
Yeah. Maybe it's. You have a lot of watches
it's out here. Oh, here it is. Wait. So, and the 300T, you see that's the helium valve. And at the time, the disadvantage of helium, it helps you when you're down there. But when you go up, it's the opposite. The helium has a pressure, and at the time, the helium could go into your watch and also explode your watch or can damage the watch. And the helium is nothing, it's decompression where the helium particles, where it's manual, will go out of the inside of the watch. And still today, DOXA is using the same technical functionality back to 1968.
What do we see over there? You said limited and the...
Yes, this is a so-called the 200 T.Graph. We had a limited edition in stainless steel, which is sold out, over 300 pieces. And then we also made one edition in 13 pieces in 18 karat rose gold. And this is also an original movement, the so-called Valjoux, going back to 1971. So we have an original movement inside.
Nice.
Over 50 years. And so those are the novelties of this year. So as you see, let me just first show also this one here. This is the interpretation of a 1967 piece, but this is in forged carbon. And when you feel it, it's 44 grams only. And it's
Nice.
still with a cask movement. So you can play around with material, what DOXA also does in today's ages. So here we go back to the launch of this year. This is a 750T, also a very important original timepiece, over 20 years, existed in the collection. But at the time, it's a 45 millimeter. And technically you could suppose 45 millimeter for a certain kind of end consumer thinks, oh, this may be too big. But the technicality is that we changed the height of the watch to 11.9 only. And when you wear it on your wrist, it feels completely different compared to what you may be used to wear a 45 millimeter watch. And it fits very nicely on the wrist. And it's water resistant to 750 meters.
That's deep.
Yes. Not everyone can test it, but I'm diving, but I'm not going
All right.
That's just no one does. So, and here also the main color of DOXA, the basics line carry all the 8 colors of DOXA from orange down to yellow, to green, to white, to blue, and every color has its own name. For example, orange, it's called the Professional.
Yeah.
And it's also the 750. That's why also gets on the market in all the known colors of DOXA.
Could you talk a little bit about the technology, the movement, and where can people buy your watches? All over the world?
Yeah, all over the world. So now in the last 5 years, we've been developing the retail presence of DOXA. Today we're present over 200 stores already in very established and high prestigious stores. You can find it online globally. You can visit doxawatches.com, where you get all the detailed information per product line, where you can see the history going back to 89. And we also see the performance, and DOXA is every year gradually expanding its retail network on an exclusive basis, and we really take care about the distribution.
And what do we see here just behind me?
Oh, this is a 200T. This was also launched for a certain market. It's obviously more in the Middle East, where the demand was there for a certain type of end consumer. They wanted to have the prestige aspect being combined with a diver's watch. But technically also here, it comes out also in different colors with a mother of pearl. But technically also the sea emerald here, when you see, it's of green emeralds, 13 pieces. Also here the bezel is turning, and technically you could also go dive with this watch, still keeping the functionality of the watch.
All right. And a little bit about the future strategy, what will happen?
So what will happen is we have our clear plans, what we did in the last 5 years. We just gradually grow our retail presence, but very prudently. We don't want to be in every corner. So next year, first we started on the English Anglo-Saxophonic markets like the UK and the United States. Then we moved forward to Europe. We went to the Middle East. We went to India. And now we're approaching Asia. We're already present in South Korea. And next year we're planning to enter the market in Japan, which will be a very interesting, demanding, but business-wise a valuable market for DOXA. And also in the United States, we're expanding our retail presence step by step. But you won't find DOXA on every corner. And the retail price range of DOXA, what is interesting, you get a lot of watch for a very affordable retail price between $1,000 to $3,000 US.
So now it's become the best time to buy an electric car, the best time to buy a Tesla. This is a 2013 Model S with free supercharging. It's just 12,000, maybe 13,000, depends exactly on the configuration. That's including free shipping to anywhere in Europe.